this morning, I'll go straight to the continuation of that teaching on investment. But I will make some certain remarks in order to refresh our minds on that series. Remember, we said investing is when you commit your money, your time, or your energy into a cause. The expectation is that you should get return in the form of money or increase in value of whatever you have put in. We also made sure we let everyone know that everybody can invest. Many times when we say investing, a lot of people feel it is not for them, especially those who don't yet have so much to spend and spare. They feel investing is not for them. Since they don't have so much spare cash, what do you want me to invest when I've not even had enough to solve my daily needs? By the grace of God, as a session of this Prosperity Touch will be dedicated to showing that there is not what is called enough. Because that person who you feel he has enough because he is using 3 cars, living in a mansion, and he is eating sumptuously. Therefore, they are the people who should invest. I will show you that all of the 3 cars he is using cannot buy half of one exotic car. Those 3 big cars cannot pay for half of an exotic car being used by somebody, and he has 3 versions or 4 or 5 of the same car. So if he began to look at that man that has 1 car, I put figures to it, that is sold for 100 million naira. And the man you are looking at, that they are the people that should invest, is using 3 cars, and the 3 of them is not worth up to 50 million. So if he also was looking at that other man, that they are the ones that should invest, then he wouldn't have made any investment. What am I bringing down? That you, that is a student, receiving stipends of 5,000 naira, you should, from that 5,000, invest. Have you wondered why God did not exempt the poor from paying tithes, even though he knows they are poor? Yet, there is nowhere in the Bible that God showed a sign that those who don't have enough money should keep what they have so that they can manage it. Have you wondered why? Have you wondered why, when it came to the time every man should pay for his redemption in Israel? You remember in Deuteronomy, God said, anytime they are going to number Israel, every man should pay a certain amount of money for his own redemption before the census takes place. Did you notice that that amount is the same for everybody? Whether very rich or very poor, whether slave or free, the same amount. Listen, there are certain basic rules that does not segregate whether you have so much or so small. One of such rules is investing. Praise God. Young girl, right now as I'm talking, all you have in your pocket is the same transport money that will take you back home. Young man, as I speak, you don't have any money kept anywhere. That on its own is a sign that you have not learned the principle of money management. Because by the time I read the book, The Richest Man in Babylon, which to me is the best classic on money management. I've read so many books, but that remained the best in simplicity, in communication, and the style. And when I began to practice keeping away 10% of whatever I made, in a short while, I was surprised to see that from that which is not enough, I was able to keep something that when a training came up, I used that money I kept to pay for the training. That is good investing. Praise God. So today, I want to believe I am premising this next teaching on what I have observed in Nigeria. What is that? When you look at people who you feel they don't have money, or you look at yourself that you don't have money, but it is only when crisis comes up, when there is a problem, the person loses some portion of money, that's when you will hear how much that person was able to keep together and where he put it. It's only when that money is lost, you will hear it. When I was pastoring somewhere in Port Harcourt, a brother walked up to me one day and said, "Sir, I paid somebody, I think then he said 30,000 or 50,000 for a Nigerian used car he wanted to buy and refurbish and begin to use. And now the person is not giving him the car, he's not getting his money." I looked at him, I said, "Oh, bro, you have 50,000, you. And all this while we are in this church, each time we are saying, let's do anything here, you consider yourself as not having anything. You can't even put as small as 1,000, but you have 50,000 that could have been lost." From that time, I knew that people that look as if they don't have anything, they don't have anything because of what is being discussed. There is some other thing they have money for. And so, another portion is, another side to it is when people lose money to very annoying causes. I discovered something, and that began to hurt me. That a lot of average low-income Nigerians lose the little they have been able to save to poor investment schemes, which in general are usually scams, wrong investment moves. It began to worry me. And therefore I said, I am going to give time to showing what you should do with that small money you have in your hands so you don't lose it. Because by the time you see the power of compounding and what 10,000 naira in your hands today will be in 20 years' time, even if you put it in the simplest form of investment, you'll be amazed. You'll be surprised that that small money you have can become a big seed capital for that big business you are looking for. So today, we are starting with basic guides to investing in Nigeria. Basic guides to investing in Nigeria. Please note, I specifically targeted Nigeria. We are here in Nigeria. So I narrowed down this. I said we live in a very volatile economy. And volatility equals risk. Volatile means ever-changing. And or to change in a very unpredictable manner. To change too rapidly that it is difficult to track or pattern. And therefore, it is changing too rapidly that it makes planning difficult. You need to understand the environment where you are. Many businesses fail in Nigeria, not because they were not carefully thought out from the beginning, nor because they were not good businesses. Please pay attention to this. They don't fail because the managers squandered the money, no. But because at the planning stage, they did not factor in the possibility of a sudden change in business environment occasioned by what we call government policies or policy somersaults in Nigeria. They didn't consider that. I give you an instance. Somebody goes to buy a bike for business in a state. At the time he was planning to buy the bike, there was no problem between bike and government. And he has already planned that between now and the next 7 months, going by the way I see bike business in this area, I'll be able to make the money and pay back the higher purchase I did and keep the bike for myself, such that in a year and a half time, I am able to raise so and so money, or I will use it to sustain myself. But he bought the bike in January. By February, crime rates spiked in the area, and it was pointed on, it was pinned on bike men. By March, he has already done 2 months, and they banned bike in that community. What happens to that business plan and its execution? Can anybody suggest? What happens to that business? Automatically, it can no longer deliver as planned in that area. You need to replan. And what is the next plan? Hey, I have 2 options. Either I rescue what is left of this bike by selling it off. I will immediately count my losses. Or I must relocate to a place where the bike is not banned. Otherwise, without knowledge of mathematics, I'm already in trouble. I don't need anybody to teach me any economics. I borrowed 700,000, 500,000 to buy this bike. I've only paid 100,000. There is 400 outstanding. What am I going to do with it? Should I convert it to a limousine and be using it to walk or to move around? I must generate money from it. If you didn't plan this if you didn't factor it in, what if they ban bike? 1. Second, we live in an environment where people don't consider risk mitigation as a part of business plan. Our brother Ike, I hereby suggest that one of these days, he will come and talk to us on the importance of insurance and risk mitigation as an expert in that field. But suffice it to say now that that bike may not be comprehensively insured, even though it's brand new. He didn't insure it. Didn't consider, what if on the road somebody snatches this bike from my rider or from me? What if it gets involved in an accident? What will I do? Beloved, you and I know that without being told, if any of this happens, the business has folded. Look at where the person was coming from. Possibly borrowed money, started riding. 6 months after, presumably coming out of trouble, he is back into a deeper trouble just because of the risky environment wherein he's operating. And like I said, policy somersault by government. We ban bike today. Tomorrow we leave the ban. The next, you want to rent a shop. You are struggling. And suddenly you're able to gather money. 100,000, 120, 150, 200. And in your business, you have made a whole lot of connections. You are known in the business. That all you needed is a good location. And then you'll be making sales. Because even your suppliers are willing to give you goods on credit. Pay attention to this. And then you have 200,000. After 4 or 5 years of working very hard and saving money. Now, what is next phase? Let me go and rent a shop so I can now relax. I receive goods, I have customers. Business is flowing. When you are planning to go and rent that shop, did you consult well? Did you consider that in Nigeria, the government can wake up one morning and say, you see this line of shops, we are demolishing all. Because it is not legal structures, it's illegal structures. Or you go and pay for a space in the market square, not forgetting that they can wake up tomorrow and say, no more open shops. Anybody that is not in a lock-up shop, get out. They will start driving you. That money you saved and paid, lost. Gone. And the person returns to a lesser position than he even started. What is the cause of all this? A volatile environment, risky environment. Therefore, anytime you want to make an investment in a place that is risky, volatile, unstable, please and please, you need a lot of considerations, guidance. When you wanted to buy that bike, why didn't you ask and check are there other businesses that could be less risky, that is less susceptible to somersault of policy? that I can go into. I am pretty sure that no one is going to wake up tomorrow morning and say, nobody should eat rice again, or nobody should eat fruits again, or beans. Nobody should wear dress again. It cannot be said. So why don't I pattern my business in a line that is not likely going to suffer because of policy change? If I want to get a shop, I know it is cheaper to get an open space and pay 10,000 or 20,000 for it. But why don't I replan, save a little more, and get a lock-up shop that government has even given out so that I will not lose money? You want to buy a land and you have saved 200,000. Why don't you consider, why should I use this 200 and just pay for any land that 200 can buy? Why don't I carefully look for a land that has received at least the smallest of documents from government, so that I know that tomorrow nobody's going to come here to say that land is no longer free. It is government acquired. These are the risks you must think about before jumping in. Next slide. Okay, I will begin to move a bit faster because I'm sure I have laid the foundation, the mindset. So the next is, too many people have said this before, too many people are looking for unguarded post to rob in Nigeria. So be very, very careful. And the antidote to deception is what? Knowledge. The great sage of investing, who I track, Warren Buffett, says that risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. The biggest risk in any business comes from lack of sufficient knowledge in that business. Next slide, please. We're moving fast. As soon as you see me talk about a slide, move on. Knowledge is great. It is how you use it that is what? Power. Knowledge is not equal to power. Rather, knowledge plus action is equal to... Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is only potential power. What is equal to power is what? What? Action. Taking action on the knowledge. Knowledge, they say, is power, is time, is money. Because time is money, and money is power. So knowledge is money. There's what we call deductive reasoning. If A is equal to B, and B is equal to C, then A is equal to C. Are you with me? So, if knowledge is equal to power, and money is power, and time is money, then knowledge is what? Money. What is the essence? Acquire and action knowledge. Acquire and action knowledge. Acquire, action. Acquire, action. Obtain, utilize. My prayer is that after this teaching, after today's teaching, nobody sitting here or that is viewing this teaching will ever lose any money to wrong investment again. I said it hurts me to see how people who are struggling to keep the little they have lose it to a hawk or a scammer. And I said, anybody can make you lose money by presenting a faulty investment. Anybody. Move on. How to avoid deception? By investment coaching. You must get coaching. So what do we do? Now, let me tell you this story that happened on Friday night before I move on to what you should do. Okay, in the course, there's a line there that I'll use to tell you that story. Take time to understand. So the first thing is take time to understand how the business works. What exactly do they want to do with your money? And how do they generate profits? Now, I'm talking about when you hear there is an investment to do. Somebody says, you get where would they put money? Or if we put money there, then they pay so and so every month. Or then they pay so and so every week. Are we together? We hear this often. If I ask here, everybody close your eyes and I say, if you lost money to MMM, raise your hand. You'll be surprised. I know many people will not tell Pastor how much they lost to MMM here. If I say, Since after MMM, has anybody here lost money to any other investment scam? You'll be surprised how many people here have lost money, even after MMM. I was in Abuja in February, and I met my colleague, a senior man in Abuja, and I was talking with him. I said to him, from your method of business, you are free. So what else are you doing to generate money? He said, he's into investing. I said, like what? He said he invests in MBA Forex. MBA Forex. How many of us have heard about that company? Very few. Thank God you didn't hear. Now, what do? They say they are trading on cryptocurrencies. They are trading on Forex, and they are trading on foreign stocks and other investments. And what do they pay? 15 whooping % every month. 15 dangerous % every month. I looked at him, I said, my brother, what did you say? You are putting money in a place where they promised you 15% every month? He said, yes. And they have been paying. And what? And what? And what? They have been paying. So what's going on now? He says since November, they say there are certain issues with the system. Government is putting a hold on transfers or money left America on getting to Atlantic Ocean. It began to play with the fishes there and has not been able to cross. We are waiting for one fisherman to go and release the money so that it can drop in our lagoon. Then they can pay. Or that their manager, the owner of the company, is being questioned by EFCC. And as they are questioning him, he can no longer click send on money. So they can't pay people they are owing. All sorts of stories. I looked him in the face. I said, bro, you've lost that money. He said, I said, listen, you've lost that money. The reason you lost the money is that you didn't understand anything about investing environment in Nigeria. You didn't know what we call the risk-free rate of investing in Nigeria. You don't know what is called the least amount you should expect. And anything beyond that amount, the higher it goes, the riskier it becomes. Today, MBA Forex is gone and gone forever. Or is anybody receiving money from them? No, if you are receiving, show me you are receiving. Gone and gone. It can't come back. It's not possible. Now, why? Because many people that said somebody is trading crypto or Forex don't even understand how does crypto market work. I met a lot of young boys and young girls last year. They said they are trading Forex online. One sister said to me that brother is delivering amazing results. I said, really? What is he doing? He said he's trading Forex. He's trading by himself. Not that he gave to any company. I said, really? That he even showed them his trading platform and dashboard. I said, my friend, don't give that boy any dime. Whatever he's showing you is what he wants you to see. He won't show you the one he doesn't want you to see. The dashboard is fantastic. He's making a lot of money. And I said, do you understand how the Forex market works? Do you know what moves it? Do you know what is cryptocurrency? Do you know how it works? Why are you putting money there? What's the bottom line? Don't put money in a business you don't understand. I went somewhere into Lekki Phase 1 just last year. Someone who has invested with me told me that she has found a new investment and it's in Lekki Phase 1 here. What do they do? She explained. And I said, I want to go there. Let me see for myself. I went there. Fantastic office. One of the first things you should be aware is that anytime you see a person or a place where they are talking about investment and it looks too beautiful, like a bank, and they are not a bank, please check well, because it could be your money they are using to beautify that place and to make you believe. That's what we call make believe. The place was so beautiful that myself, I was almost overtaken by the organization I saw there. But I needed to ask my questions. I asked them, what do you do such that every month you are paying someone 60,000 out of 780,000 he invested? They said they are into bike hailing business. That is delivery business. You know how many of us know bike delivery business? That is delivery man, bike delivery. Okay. Let's do the analysis of my experience in sending and receiving things from them. I noticed that somebody can actually make 5,000 naira a day. Do you agree with me? 5,000 naira was normal. I calculated it. That means in a week, he has 30,000. So paying out 15,000 is not out of the way. 50% of what you got in, it's not too difficult. I calculated it. I said, okay, that could work. They showed me another investment package wherein you put down 200,000 naira. Every month, you are receiving, it's going to run for 3 months first. The 200,000 naira at the end of the 3 months would have produced 600,000. Sorry, 400,000. So every month, you are going to be receiving about 130,000 every month for putting down 200,000. So I said, what is producing this particular income? They say they are into location. Listen now, location. What do? They come to your shop and snap your shop. Take pictures and videos of everything you are doing in your business place, a booming business place, and go online and publish it and start promoting that business online. When people begin to patronize you, you now come and pay them for promoting your business. Did you hear what I said? I sat down, I thought about it. I said, I have a booming business. That's why you want to promote it, or a good business. And you snap it, put it online, promote it, and people start patronizing me, then I come and pay you. I said, no, sir, it didn't add up. It didn't add up. The man that is doing a good business doesn't need you. He doesn't need you. And is there any agreement you went into with him ever before you start promoting his business? I asked several questions. What they were saying could not add up. Remember, they have shown me about bike. Did you remember that? And I said the bike business added up. I understood it. But this one does not add up. So where is the problem? These two businesses are cohabiting. Is it the same pool, the same company? So I said to them, this thing you call location business, our virtual reality, is the one you are using to attract people here, to dump money with you. You are using the bike business as a cover. I don't agree. Can I see the CEO? They say he's a very busy man. I can't see him. He's so busy. He doesn't have time to see anybody. I say, really? He doesn't have time to see his investors? He doesn't have time to see someone that wants to bring money to him? Does he know how much I want to bring? And if he cannot see me, I'm not bringing. No matter what you promise. Beloved brethren, after I disagreed with one, there is a red flag, not able to see the CEO, second red flag, I walked away. A friend from Abuja called me. Is there any business you know we can invest in? I said, yes, but I am still understudying. There's a problem with something they are talking about. I can't put money there yet. They have a red flag. He asked me, what is the red flag? I explained. He said, you are thinking like a pastor. That's why you are seeing a red flag there. To me, so long as they are paying and the business, you can see their business, no problem. I said, my friend, I have told you, if you want to do, he sent me another place to go and investigate those people in agricultural crowdfunding. How many of us know what is agricultural crowdfunding? Okay? People that are doing agribusiness, you give them money, they do the farming and pay you. Good idea, but watch out because many are promising what they cannot deliver. He sent me to one of those places. I went and checked them. I said, I don't agree with what I saw there. It doesn't look like it. I came back. You know what? Behind me, he went and put money in that business. It was only last 2 months. He called me and said, oh boy, what did happen with those your friends? I will say, which my friends? He said, those guys now that are doing bike business. I said, they have closed. He said, oh boy, I put 780,000 there. I said, oh, you have 780, you didn't give me. He went and put it there. It's gone. Oh, you can't find it again. Why? Lack of due diligence. He didn't even understand the business. But I tried to understand it. I couldn't. And I said, since I can't understand the business, then I shouldn't also invest in it. So please, anything you want to put money in, and somebody tells you, this is how it all. If you could do, if in your wisdom, you came to this age, nobody is leading you out so that car will not knock you down. Shows you have sense. And you use that your sense and assess all he said. You couldn't understand it. Tell it to somebody who is an investment expert or advisor. The person didn't understand it. I say what? Don't put money there. Your money will go. So all this I have said will take care of the remaining part of the slide. Assess the risk involved in the business. You need to understand how it works. Check the rate of return being promised. Remember the rule. In Nigeria, anything more than 5% monthly is likely a scam. Anything more than 5% return on investment every month is likely what? Now, let me explain this particular statement I made because it is instructive. If you are running your own business, you are selling something, buying and selling by yourself, 5% a month on your capital is possible. It's possible, but not always, especially when the scale of the business is small. I will explain. If your business, there are businesses that when you put 100 million naira, somebody will be asking you, for what? Because what do you want to do? Where do you want to put it? It can't enter. There's no space for it here. Because the scale at which this business is done, it can't accommodate it. There's no space for it. What do I mean by that? A woman who is using cat to push her food, and suddenly somebody is saying, I want to put in 2 million in that your cat food business. No. So you want her to cook a bag of rice in a day and push it in a cart and sell? No. For you to put 1 million naira in food business, you now need to make it a bigger scale. Are you with me? You must expand the scale of that business. At that point, you are putting 100 million. Listen, at that point, you are putting 100 million. You are beginning to assume very high risk. You must set it up in the form of Mr. Biggs or the big eateries. At that level, profit can no longer be 5% every month on investment. It can no longer happen. You need to scale it down. It will now begin to deliver in the region of 2.5, 3%, 4%, max 5%. Anything above that, massive risk is coming into that business. Are you getting what I'm saying? Now, I'll break it down to Naira and Kobo. You have 100,000 Naira. And somebody says, every month, I will pay you 10,000. Be very, very careful. Be very, very careful. Because he's promising you 10% on your money. Risk is high. Risk is high. Where it becomes manageable is somebody says, from 10%, I'll give you 5%. It looks so small in your eyes, but that is a safer region. That shows you the person is not going to do stupid things in order to pay you. He's not going to go to assume, because for him to generate that money he's promising you, he himself needs to go and assume a big risk. He must take a risk to make big money to come and pay you. And whenever that big risk is taken, the risk of losing all the capital begins to emerge. Did we understand that? So the rate of return is a check for the genuinity of the investment. Assess the possibility of losing your money. We've said that. How long has the business been around? Somebody told me, a young man told me he wants to dedicate his heart, dedicate himself to trading crypto. I looked at him, I said, bro, you are just gambling with your life. Why should you want to go and input, you finished, graduated from school, you say you want to dedicate yourself to trading crypto? What is crypto? What are you buying and what are you selling? Computer program. Computer program, somebody wrote. And he tells you this is now money. This thing remains an experiment. It may work, it may fail. So why are you dedicating yourself to an experiment? In a volatile economy like Nigeria, if you are in America and that business fails, there is a support to keep you living. In Nigeria, nobody's going to support you. You go to the ashes. So why take such risk here? More so, the movement in the price is not determined by anybody. You can never tell where it's going. Why take such risk? You can't even check whether this will work or not. There is no room for assessment. How do you assess it? Nothing. I said, don't get into that as a business. Get into it as an experiment. And what do you use for an experiment? What you can spare. If you want to trade crypto or Forex by yourself, no problem. But what you should leave there is what you can look away from. And unfortunately, there's a screen I snapped. I would have shown you, but I think I put it in another slide. Where every site, every online site, I'm saying this specifically for young people here. Every online site you go to where they are trading Forex or cryptocurrency or even stocks, those stocks are not as volatile. They will say to you, please note, don't stake any money that you are not willing to lose. It's normally written in tiny print down the screen. You won't see it always. But it is what we call caveat. It is their way of exempting themselves from prosecution. Because anytime you want to take them to court, they say, but we told you. You say, where did you tell me? Go down, 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 down. You will see it there. They call it tiny prints in insurance. Right? You know what I'm saying. The insurance people will print 20 pages of things you can't read with your eyes. You look at them, you get tired. They say, oh boy, I better pass this time. It is inside that place you can't read. They wrote the covenant that will set them free if you lose your money. So please note, don't get into those things. How long has that business been in town? I asked him, is there anybody you know that is doing well in Nigeria? And you ask him, what do you do? I said, I trade Forex online. Is there anybody you know doing well? And you ask him, how did you make your money? He said, I was trading Forex for the past 10 years. That's how I made money. Nobody. Why get into it? Who will be your mentor? Who will be your guide? You don't need that risk. Okay? As a rule, the next slide. Okay, sorry, I didn't say how experienced is the management team or the promoters in that particular business line they want you to invest in. Check the experience factor. Someone who is calling you to invest in crypto, or you said you want to invest with him in crypto, has only traded crypto for 6 months. So he wants to use 6 months to become a guide, a manager, a professor of crypto in 6 months. Somebody approached me and said, I have tried that thing and I can see it works. If you can give me money, I will put in it, I will make a lot of money. I was looking at him. You will make a lot of money. Doing what? He said, trading crypto. Where did you learn? He said he has been using one small money to test his power to trade. How much? 25,000 naira. I said, really? After training how to swim in Nigerian lagoon, you want to go and swim in Atlantic Ocean. The wave of the sea will do what? Will put you right into the mouth of a shark, a waiting shark. You're not going to struggle. You just deliver you inside the mouth of the shark. Because you are swimming in a quiet water. That's where you say you are now an expert in swimming. You don't know there is a place where waves can throw you as high as a story building or two. Do you know about that? So please, before getting involved, ask, how long have you done this? If the person says, he has not done it for up to 6 months, please. I mean, up to 5 years to 10 years, don't join. Amen. As a rule, I don't get into any business unless I have the following settled. 1, I understand how the business works, which I've said. I get explanation from someone who has at least 5 to 10 years experience in the business and is currently in the business and is doing very well. If you follow these simple rules, the chances of losing money in investment becomes too slim. Finally, you must get the consent of that veteran to guide you onto success. If you don't get this, don't move without, unless if it is God that is calling you to move. On that note, I won't question you. But before you move into any, there's one of our brothers here that was getting into a business. He has to go to the north, buy things and come. And he told me he had someone to guide him. But the person that said he would guide him demanded money. Pay him. He paid him. He guided him. He went and came back successful, made money. The next time he wanted to go, he said he didn't want to pay that money again. He went on his own. Guess what happened? What do you think happened? He lost more than 5 times what he would have paid that person. And suffered. It's not just the money. The suffering he went through, if not for God, he would have come back here with stories that touch the heart. Because he didn't want to pay the price for a guide. I want to plead with you. Don't get involved unless, as I'm talking now about into a new business. If you want to get into a new business, get someone who has successfully done what you want to do and is currently involved. Because if he has done it and left, he may have become rusty as per the happenings in the business. But if he's currently doing it, then he can tell you what is happening now in the business. Praise God. Okay, the next slide says how to identify a Ponzi scheme. Remember the video we played? I've played that video. Maybe we'll play it again to remind ourselves of the likely things that lead you into Ponzi. For some of us that are doing Ponzi. They pay. They are paying. So you go and collect money from somebody and all you have and put. I will keep playing this video. I don't want anybody to lose money to Ponzi scheme again. It is gone. Somebody say it is gone. It is gone. And it will never come back. Now, I tell you what happened to let you know why I am pleading with you. Don't do this. It is not investing. This is gambling. Somebody approached me 3 months ago and told me about, I'm going to say this here because thank God the person is not here, told me about an investment they call ESPN Global. How many people have heard about it? ESPN Global. Okay. He brought it to me and said, somebody introduced him to it. It's fantastic. And I asked him, how does it work? He said, if you bring, I will use the common figure that he mentioned to me, which is what another person said, 3,150,000. If you put in 3,150,000, in fact, the next 2 days, is it the next 2 days or the next 3 days? But within 1 week, after you registered, you'll be paid 750,000. You went into a business, you put in 3,150,000. No do. 1 week, you are paid 750,000. From where? Within 1 week, you've already done business and you are paying me 750. From where? And the end of the next month, you receive 1 million. The end of the next month, 1 million. And the end of the next month, 1 million. For how many months? 12 months. I say, sir, and you believe it? What do they do that generate this kind of money? He began to explain. They are into what is called online gaming. He asked me, have you heard about ESPN Sports? I say, yes. It's the one of the biggest sports channels in Europe. He said, that's it. ESPN Sports. This is their gaming part. They are into online gaming. Type it in your phone. You will see it. I typed ESPN. It came out. I looked at it. I said, continue, I'm listening. He said, if you pay 3,150 now, this is, he said, my friend, somebody I know how he's struggling. I know that this man is begging bread. As I'm talking to you now, he's building a duplex. I looked at him, I said, sir, I have a lot of respect for you. And so I'm not going to use a bad word on you. I won't talk to you in a way that you will feel bad. But please, don't ever get involved in this. I began to lecture him on risk-free rates. Any return above 5%, and you can accommodate up to 20 million, 50 million, and most of them open-ended. If you have 10 billion, bring. At the end of the month, we will still pay you. I said, how? It won't work. After telling him that, he walked away. I didn't know that he didn't believe me. So, on Friday, someone I respect so much, who is very rich, having properties in Ibejuleki that is worth hundreds of millions, big real estate, called me. She's in London, and called me and said, no, she sent me a message on WhatsApp. I looked at the message, ESPN Global. I said, hey, madam, you joined this? Please don't send this to another person. And she began to, she didn't talk. Then she called me. I said, why did you get into that? You of all people. Do you know your influence on people? How can you face the shame when this crashes? She said, well, my brother, I know it will crash. But before it will crash, I don't cash out. I said, that is how they normally talk. You think you are wiser than the owners of the game board? And let's even assume before it crashed, you cashed out. What of those you brought into it? What still, as a Christian? What of those you brought into it? What would they do? I said to her, I'm a preacher, and I don't want, as I appear on the screen to preach, somebody will say, hey, look at him. He's the man that kept me where I am today. All the money I saved, money I would have used to buy land in Ibejuleki, but I say, make I double land. And he told me it's working. As I put it there, it went. He's the one that, how will your preaching continue? It's closed in the ears of that man. And I said to her, please pull out from this and don't tell it to another person. In conclusion for today, please, anytime, look at the boy in the next picture. Look at the boy, look at that boy. Did you hear about, where is that, where is it? Did you hear about the 21-year-old that scammed people of 2 billion naira? Our pastor sent it to our platform. Did you hear it? 21-year-old. And he was telling them and they believe. So you look at this boy, he's the CEO of one company. You see him how he's flaunting dollar, too much money. And you say, hey, he's paying. You join. Look at the next man and see what is happening. That's the description of that picture. You see it? Money hanging on what? A hook. The same way you put bait in a hook for a fish. That's what they do. They show you. And then, as soon as you grab it, what happens to you? The trap will get you. So please, we're going to stop here today because of time. And I want to plead with everyone. Follow these rules we have listed. If you, maybe because we are moving, you didn't pick them one after the other. Before you make any investment, ask, have I checked all this? Today is dedicated to making sure you don't lose your money. By God's grace, I want to show you, I'm using 3 minutes to say that the best place to begin your investment journey as a Christian is in the house of God. The best place. Where to invest as a Christian? It says start with conscious what? Kingdom investing. That's the best place to start your investing as a Christian. What do I mean by that? If you have money and you want to use it for business, why don't you say to God, Father, this money I have is not enough for what I want to do. When you are yet starting, or even now, you have a whole lot of money. Father, I want to start this business. I am putting this in your hands as a security for the one I am going into. Guide me. Did you get that? Lord, I want to start selling yam. All I have is 100,000. I am putting in your hands 10,000. Let it be a security deposit for this, my remaining 90. Bless this 90. Did you get the concept? Open your heart and say to God, guide me in investing. Let me tell you, you will never hear me call people to bring money, to give, or we are pleading with you to help us in church. I never say such word. I rather use the word investing. Somebody say investing. In Lekki Parish, God has so blessed us with a pastor that hears the voice of God. That's the best thing God can do for you. To give you a pastor over you who hears his voice. You are not likely going to miss the way unless you didn't listen. Our pastor came up with a concept of what we call budgeting last year. How many of us here noticed? Not many will notice because it's not in our culture. How many of us here noticed that in Lekki Parish, our pastor does not call us to raise money? Since this year, has there been a call to raise money in this church? Has there been a call? Even last year, were we called to raise money? So why didn't you ask, how was money coming? Somebody will conclude that some people that have money are giving. No, that's not what happened. Our pastor was test running something. What was it? Budgeting. Every year, we roll out all the things we need to do in the church by projection. Last year, it was about 12 million. And we called on people who already have understood the principle of investing in God's kingdom as a defense, as a security for their own wealth. We called on them. Some people give 2 million, 1 million, 500,000, 100,000, 50,000, as their power could do. And that's how we ran the church. Put your hands together for the Lord. Thank God for the pastor. So we didn't call anybody, say we are raising money for this, no way. We said, let's try it again this year. This year we made the budget to almost 30 million because it's a full year budget. And we started again. Some people gave to the tune that we have more than half of the budget already booked. So there is half of the budget remaining. And what did I say to pastor? Don't worry. I'm going to tell the whole church, the entire church in Lekki, that it is in their best interest to get involved in this investing. Are you with me? In this kind of investing in God's kingdom. And so what am I saying to you this morning? By the next teaching on this, we're going to give you opportunity. Prepare your mind to invest in this parish. We have about 15 million naira outstanding, about that or a little less, to run the budget for the year. And what is the essence? It's not going to be, you come that day, you say, I'm going to give 500,000, and then the next week you bring it. No. Half year is gone. Sorry, this is the 6th month of the year. Beginning from July to December, you say in your heart, Lord, this is my business. This is your business. I am investing so and so amount for the next 6 months in Lekki Parish. My plan is I want you to keep guard over this mine and grow it so that next year I will be able to double whatever I have given this year. Did you understand that? Prepare your mind. We're going to make that call next Sunday or the next, anytime we're taking the teaching next. It goes a long way eliminating the stress on your finances. Because for the Father you have planned to put in God's house, God will also plan to put in your hands. Did you understand the principle here? When you have planned, you say to God, in the next 6 months, this is what I want to put in your house. God will also say, oh, good. Therefore, in the next 6 months, this is what I'm going to put in your... I think you understood that principle. That's a way of committing God's integrity on your finances. When you make a projection of what you want to invest. Let me tell you why the investment company is obliged to deliver profit to you. Because you have trusted them with your finances. They are under obligation to produce profit for you. Did you get that? Did you get what I said? You have committed your finances into the hands, your sweat, your money, your future, into the hands of the funds management company or the business. And therefore, they take responsibility and say, for you to trust us, we must deliver to you. The same way, you are trusting God. We're closing now. You are trusting God and saying, Father, I am putting this into your house. And God will say, good, for trusting me, I am also doing this to you. Praise God. Next Sunday, we'll do that. We are stopping here today. with Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20. My favorite advice to everybody concerning business. Proverbs 13, 20. And what does it say? He that walketh with wise men shall be wise. I want everybody to say it with me. He that walketh with wise men. Say it again. He that walketh with poor men. Complete it. He that walketh with rich men. He that walketh with liars. He that walketh with mechanics. He that walketh with a tailor. He that walketh with teachers. He that walketh with watchmen. God bless you.